Now joining me in the studio is Michael Kitzmiller, candidate for Uintah County Assessor. Thank you very much for joining us today, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you, why you're running for this office?
Well, I'm running for the office because I want to raise the bar in public service in the assessor's office. I think if we're doing statutory minimums, it's going great. But I'd like to do things a little bit different and a little bit more, let's say, modern than what we've done in the past. There's three areas that I'd like to focus on. The first area that I'd like to focus on is increasing our technology, the things that we can do for the county in order to better serve the public. I would like to, for example, on our website, have it become a portal for folks to go to for information on the taxation process or valuations in general, an information spot where people can go and say, oh, I want to learn about my property, and they can find all the information that they need. Of course, it's not restricted and those types of things. We don't disclose things they shouldn't have, but we want to make it a friendly place where they can go and learn about their values and what's going on in the assessor's office. That's an important thing. I've seen several spots in several websites across the state, and they seem to do that, and as a real estate professional, I appreciate being able to go to a website and gain all the information that I need and not have to keep searching around. So that's one of the things that I'd like to do, is focus on the technology to increase that. Another thing I'd like to work on is just our office in general, to make sure that our staff treats everybody professionally, courteously, and with the dignity and respect that they deserve. I know that in the assessor's office, when people come in to visit you, they're not necessarily there as friends. They usually have a problem. So you have to take special caution and things like that in order to talk to them and let them know what is going on. They need to be treated with dignity. My third area that I'd like to focus on is representation. I believe it's important for the citizenry to be represented, especially when it comes to taxation. I want to work for the citizens of the Uintah County, not for the entities that are the taxing entities. I think it's important for citizens to have a place to come and talk about the issues that are important to them. Taxes are important to everybody, myself included. Now, there's a couple different commitments I'd like to make to those who would like to elect me to office, and that is that I would bring my skills, abilities, and experience to the assessor's office and work for them every day to get the job done. Let me talk for just a second about my experience, if that's okay.
Sure.
I've been a state certified residential appraiser for 15 years, which is a long time. In fact, that's longer than the current assessor's been a state certified real estate appraiser, residential appraiser. And I think that's very important, that you have the skills and the abilities and the experience to value properties. That's the primary focus and purpose of the assessor's office, is to do that. I've also had almost 10 years of experience with the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources as a support service coordinator. And what a support service coordinator does is, I was the budget officer for this region, and I managed the office staff, and we provided professional and great customer service for everybody that came in. That's important. I worked with budgets, I worked with departments, I know how to work well with people and to interact with different departments. To me, that's important experience. I also commit that in representing the people, I'll do what's right. You know, I want to make sure, and I'll commit to you and to everyone who will listen, that when I value properties, they will be impartially valued, they will be appropriately valued, and that there won't be any, how do I say this, favoritism shown towards family or friends or things like that. It must be done properly. It must be impartial. To me, that's important. There's an area that I'd like to consider as well as the assessor, and that is bringing back the opportunity and ability to assess commercial properties here as well, rather than have them done in Salt Lake. I look forward to June 22nd, and I ask for your vote.
All right. Thank you very much. Once again, Michael Kitzmiller, up for election Uintah County Assessor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now joining me in the studio is Rolene Rasmussen, candidate for the Uintah County Assessor. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Tell us why you're running for office.
Well, David, the reason I'm running for office is before I ran for office and was elected in 2006, I had worked in the office for 15 years under 3 previous county assessors. In all those years, I worked in every job in the office. Most of my time was appraising. In those years in the office, I saw places where I thought I could make cuts in the budget, reduce the staff to save taxpayers money. I was elected in 2006. I have cut the budget. Because I'm a hands-on, roll-up-my-sleeve working assessor, we are working with fewer employees and getting the work done. I think that I'm a definite asset to the county assessor office because I run it like a business.
That makes sense. Tell us why you think that you would be the best candidate as the assessor.
I guess I can answer that question best by asking you if you would frame a house before you pour the foundation. And the reason I ask that question is that's what would happen if you have someone that works in the office of assessor before they have on-the-job experience and knowledge. My experience and my knowledge serves I believe, the citizens of the county best. Combined in the office, we have 45 years of experience with the employees, and I think that's a definite asset. You have to work through a 5-year reappraisal cycle to know the county properties. There's 18,954 county taxable properties. The main job of the assessor office is to value properties. Unless you have physically inspected those properties, I don't know how you can value them appropriately. When I talk about valuing properties, the job of the assessor has to be valuing properties at market value. Buyers set the prices for the properties. The prices they pay for is what we have to value at. It's the system we work under. The state monitors our work. They do checks and balances on our work. But because of our proven work record and all of our years of on-the-job experience, field appraising, and knowing the local market, they rely on our expertise to put out an assessment roll. But I want your listeners to realize that we keep the values as low as possible, as low as legally allowed by the state.
Anything that you see in the future for the assessor's office if you're elected?
What I see in the future for the assessor's office if I'm elected is the continued experience and knowledge doing the best job possible, because we know what we're doing. The state has the confidence in us, and there's always challenges. I've lived in the basin for 30 years. I have gone through the ups and downs of the oil, what we call the oil and gas booms and the busts. Values are always higher in the high prices paid in the oil and gas booms. My expertise and the employees in the assessor's office have the knowledge, because they've been doing the work, of keeping the values as low as we possibly can. It's the wise thing to do.
You've got about just over a minute for any closing comments.
I'm asking to be re-elected for one more term because I want to continue keeping the budget at a minimum, not increasing the office staff. We have a couple of large projects we're working on in the assessor's office right now, and I will continue working on those until they're through to completion. I just would appreciate the opportunity, continued opportunity and privilege of serving as the county's county assessor.
Very nice. Thank you for joining us.
you.
Rolene Rasmussen, once again, up for re-election as the county assessor for Uintah County.
Thank you.
Thank you.